Hey, this is just a snippet from our podcast, but if you want to catch the full episode, that'll be on YouTube, and the extended version will be on our Patreon. Elden Ring, Nightreign.
Just a little spin-off.
Okay, so I'm not an Elden Ring person. I'm not a Dark Souls. I'm not a Souls person. But
Yeah.
So Elden Ring, this is going to be the most basic
No
question
way,
ever.
let's start there.
This
Let's
is
go.
not a DLC.
Correct,
Am I
brand
correct?
new
It's
game.
a separate game to buy.
Separate game.
Cheaper price.
What's the MSRP on this one?
39.
$40.
Isla, without hesitation.
Yeah, $40, 3 players, round-based basically, like 30-ish minute matches. You're together. Isla.
So it's PvE? What is
PvE.
it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
PvE.
So you're friends.
3-player team.
Yeah.
This is my fire team, but an Elden
Yeah.
Ring?
Yeah.
You got a 3-player team. You're going through. It's a 3-night.
We're doing
cycle.
strikes?
You're doing strikes.
Basically.
You have day 1 to farm and try to level up, get better gear. Then you fight a boss. Then if you beat that, it's day 2. You farm and try to find better gear, looking around, exploring, leveling up, fight the boss again. And then if you beat that, you go to day 3, which is the Night Lord.
Final boss of
and
that.
it's just a boss fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a handful of those. There's quite a few of those
Yeah, if you
final
s-
bosses.
There's
You saw there's like
yeah.
a
Yeah.
battle royale style ring that closes in on you too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the storm, the night
Oh,
closes
okay.
in on you in a ring. So it contracts you into the final boss arena.
Yeah, which it gets really nuts to where if you're trying to get to some underground chest or something, and
Yeah.
that ring starts coming, it's like, oh crap, how do I get out of here?
I'm
I need
gonna
to
let-
move.
I'm going to let you go off, but I will say my favorite thing about the design of this is the pushing and pulling of you need to explore to get stronger, and you need to kill things to get stronger to kill the boss, but also this wall of fire is coming.
Yes.
So you don't have a lot of time, so there's this
It's effectively a press your luck game.
yeah, it's do I want to go and try to kill that boss or find that thing, or do I go somewhere safer? Yeah, it's awesome.
That's kind of fantastic. It's almost like the map closing in like a Fortnite.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, I mean, it's literally that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's-
this is Fortnite for
like
people who like FromSoft
It's like
games.
Destiny Fortnite.
Like me.
Yeah.
It's FromSoft Fortnite.
Yeah.
And it's because Fortnite doesn't interest me for 1 second of any day. But this, I'm in love with it. I like, and I hate playing multiplayer games. But this game, in my experience so far, in the reviewer, we've had this game for, I don't know, 2 weeks or something, 3 weeks. And, we've been playing mostly with reviewers, and oh my God. And generally it's been a very positive experience. The day that I was capturing this very B-roll, I had 4 real weird matches where the teammates just kind of weren't listening to each other and we were sort of going all over.
You really need a team for sure.
This fight though, I clutched it out and it felt so cool. You have
Hell
these
yeah.
moments in this game where you'll just feel like a real hero, and it's neat. And I it was interesting just over the 2 weeks or whatever of playing this, the kind of unspoken vernacular for this particular FromSoft game, because everyone who's playing this is pretty generally a FromSoft, a From head. But this game's specific unspoken vernacular started to emerge just in that period of time. At first, the first few days, nobody knew what to do. No one was there weren't any strategies or whatever. And now it's just do the first camp by
Autopilot.
where you land, do the churches, get the churches for the flasks, go to this, go to the castle, go to the basement of the castle, fight the thing, go over here. And the maps change every time, but there's kind of a hierarchy, a mental hierarchy of okay, what makes the most sense to do next? What is our team good enough to do?
The meta.
Because you're judging not only your team's skill, but also how on pace you are. I was talking about this with Mitch over at IGN. We played a few rounds together, and
Name drop.
no, well he was great. He's great at this. He's better at this than I am. But I was saying we were trying to figure out what a good pace was for a day,
Right.
and we were level 7 or 8 at the end of day 1 is good, and if you're at 11 to 13 for the final boss, you're really good, but it's doable at 10. That's kind of the pace you want to be at. So any run where I was level 3 at the end of day 1, I'm like, we're fucked. Like, this is
Right.
You still
Yeah,
try, but like.
Well,
Yeah.
and then there's just, it does so many crazy things because it's like, okay, on the base it just looks like Elden Ring, but there's so many weird little tweaks and things just throughout that it changes, and just
For sure. It's like arcade Elden Ring.
Yes.
Right.
So let me ask you this question then. Aside from like the wall of fire closing in, what is really differentiating this game between just getting like a mod to add multiplayer to Elden Ring?
for one, you have
all these
like,
classes.
8 distinct characters.
And they all have their own quest
Oh, so like
lines,
Destiny
which
has,
we will
like,
not talk about.
Different classes, obviously, and
yeah, so
Destiny
it,
has, like 3 or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
so like each one like has like a weapon type that they favor and like
Special
abilities
abilities,
that like
ultimate.
did not exist like
In the base
main
or the-
Elden Ring at all. And like crazy stuff like Isla's Duchess, see that like the stopwatch thing, when you trigger that it like replays some of the damage that
It
your team
replays
did.
the last 2 seconds of the
Oh.
damage.
Like,
So like
to like re-exert that damage again.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah.
that's
and
pretty
and
cool.
it, like the nice thing with the Duchess is that you can use that ability pretty frequently. So
Yeah.
like you shouldn't be afraid to just pop it every time you like, and like it's Duchess is my favorite character by far because this game is also interesting because it's kind of like FromSoft greatest hits. Like there are literally bosses from like Dark Souls 2
Right,
in
right.
here.
That's pretty fun.
And Duchess
yeah,
is like,
Gaping
hey,
Dragon,
did
I
you
thought.
like? Duchess is like, hey, did you like Bloodborne? Play Duchess. The Executor is like, hey, did you like Sekiro? Play this guy. And like Wilder is like Dark Souls, like, and they're not all that cut and dry. The Revenant, who I have B-roll of in a little bit, she's kind of more of a summoner, so she can summon one of 3 different ghost characters to fight
That's my
alongside
favorite.
you.
It's so fun. That's my
And
favorite.
then she's the one who was recently featured in the Wake Me Up Inside Evanescence
Yes,
trailer.
of course.
AMV.
We all are familiar.
Absurd
so
trailer that they
fun.
did.
But she also does this weird thing where like I don't understand exactly like
heart.
what triggers it, but like when you kill enemies, like they'll be
Random
summoned as
ghosts
ghosts.
will come back. Yeah.
The question everyone wants to know: Ornstein and Smaug, are they in it?
Yeah, not that I've seen so
I have
far.
not seen yet, but that would be
That's
a good
a- that's a
addition.
knock against
DLC
it.
or
Oh,
something.
yeah. I did fight the Nameless King though one time. Of
course.
which is
Hell
pretty
yeah.
Right.
crazy.
So I
Yeah, some of the other, but the Executioner one is crazy because it like turns into like a giant werewolf for its ultimate. But like you can really be strategic like when you pop that because when you do that, it fully heals you and like doubles your life bar. And so then even when you go back to normal, like you're basically back to full health. So you can like use it as a heal.
That's pretty cool.
And also because it's got such a wide range of attack, you heal, you revive your allies by attacking them. And so like if you've got allies down and you can pop your giant werewolf, then you can like bring everyone back pretty quickly.
This is the church where you get more flask charges, which
Yeah.
is always very important.
I feel like
This
too,
character is good at healing.
if you've never played, I think I'm kind of torn. If you've never played a Elden Ring or a From game,
Oh,
because
it'd
the
be so
pace
crazy.
of this is
Yeah.
fucking out of control,
and
even
like-
though it's co-op. Whereas the other one, you can just take so slow, just summon a buddy and like take it slow. So
Well, no,
yeah,
And I'm
The-
seeing so much melee combat in this.
crazy.
It seems like that's principally what the
There is a
combat
really
is.
cool
yeah,
caster.
there's a caster character that has a pretty complicated moveset, and then there's a bow and arrow character.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
any character, any character can use any weapon. Some characters are better at certain other weapons. Like the Duchess you can unlock through the story like benefits for using daggers. Like it'll auto give reprisal, which is the time thing.
I played like a ton
daggers.
of Destiny 2. Like I
Yeah.
loved Destiny 2 and had
Hell
to
yeah.
stop it because it was like becoming a problem for me.
yeah.
But like one of my favorite things was like doing a big, like
Group up.
like raid with everybody.
Yeah.
Like, and so much of that wasn't just like we're defeating enemies or a boss, but like there's environmental choices we have to make, things we have to do in sequence. We've got to like puzzle elements. Is there stuff like that in this
Yeah,
game?
so there's like basically
Not like Destiny levels, though. I know what you're talking about.
I mean,
yeah,
in
that
a
shit's
sense,
like
yeah.
shoot this target while
Yes.
none of that
No.
shit.
It's
Basically
not
that,
at all.
It's not like that overt, but in a sense, that's what this entire game is. in a sort of in a different
so
way.
Not like
there's
killing
some crazy stuff that
Okay.
happens back at your hub that like comes out kind of gradually, but basically like each one of these characters has like a kind of a bit of a quest line that happens, and
Oh.
so and for everyone like the objectives are different. So
That's
some of
cool.
them like you'll basically just do like some single player stuff. Like you'll do like some one-on-one matches in an arena. But others like you'll have to go out with a group of people and go find some item out on the map, you know, alongside of like what the group's goal is.
Which I guess kind of in Destiny you're doing too.
Yeah, if you're on like a patrol or whatever,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I gotta go over here and get
yeah,
that
that's
thing.
my daily
That's vibe. That's
thing.
the vibe.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah, this does look very cool.
Yeah.
Isla, are you gonna play with my husband?
If he plays it, I mean, if he plays on PlayStation, this game criminally does not have crossplay
Really?
currently, which I think
Oh.
is fucking insane.
Yeah, that's
that
wild.
does seem very limiting.
That is
That is-
wild.
Like
I
this.
think deeply stupid.
Yeah.
That's like my biggest gripe with this game. Like, I know Mitch didn't like that it's not really balanced for solo, and I heard a few other people have that complaint, and like I hear that, and I definitely agree. Solo is basically
Solo is just
impossible.
there to investigate and like get comfortable
Yeah.
with characters without dragging people down.
Yeah.
That's the
basically
only reason to do it.
impossible.
You're not going to get through it.
You
a
can
day.
do some of the
Yeah.
remembrances solo, just like run in, get the thing you need and die.
which to me
but,
is a
like,
super unfair criticism of a
it's
multiplayer
definitely,
game.
It's definitely meant to be played with other people.
Yeah,
the
it's a
matchmaking and
multiplayer
queuing works really well. You can
Mm-hmm.
you can select which boss, like which Night Lord you want to target, and you can even say like random undefeated. So like what are my stats right now? I think I've played like 24 matches and I've beaten the expedition 3 times. This game's tough, and like most of those days, probably like 18 of those, I've gotten the final Night Lord like to 20% health, and then we wipe, which is devastating, but that's just how it is. But like, if I was playing this on Discord, because I only played like 4 matches with actual, like with Huber and Mitch or whatever, where we could actually talk to each other. Like that increases
Slay.
our success, your success rate. And
Huge.
I think like the ideal scenario for this game is playing with 2 of your friends and being on Discord and talking about
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
And like if you're a beginner and like new, like, you know, it's intense and weird, and the learning curve on this game specifically is incredibly weird. Like I wouldn't say it's hard to wrap your head around the initial concept, but once you've done it once or twice, you're like, I get it. Like there's a lot of nuance that you'll keep picking up, and like I'm sure the meta will change over time. But like, you know, I think that if you have a Sherpa to take you through, you know, like if you have a friend who's obsessed with FromSoft and you've always been curious, I think this would be a great way to jump in, just because you get to stay in multiplayer together and don't get kicked out after every boss.
And you get to have that guide and that support, right?
Yeah.
So do you all feel like returning to this game daily to play it, it's giving you enough like benchmarks and dopamine hits, and it's giving you that feeling of validation every time you play, that it would keep you coming back? Or do you feel like you'll hit a certain number of hours where you're like, I've done enough and I've done...
I mean, I think if I've done all the bosses, I probably would.
I would
be
do all
done
the
personally,
remembrances. I would do every
Yeah, yeah.
character's quest line, and if I did that, I would probably put it down for good. But that would take a while.
Yeah.
That would take a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's an interesting game, but because it's a combination of, you know, because the obvious comparisons are like Fortnite, whatever, these multiplayer games. But yeah, it does have a progression. There are the Night Lords that you can face. I don't know what happens when you beat all of those, but I imagine there's probably something after that.
Maybe.
And all the
From Software
characters-
loves their
Yeah, and then all
endings.
the characters have remembrances, like storylines that you do, and like, so it's a multiplayer game that has a story that you handle the story kind of on your own, which I think is a good way to do it. You're not listening to someone talking to you over your headset while you're running around trying to fight other multiplayer characters, you know?
Yeah.
How does the weapon progression work? Like, are you leveling up existing weapons a lot, or are
No,
you picking up a lot of...
You have a base weapon for each character when you go out, and then you find...
Which I think somehow can change, because I saw somebody else go in as a Duchess, and they looked like like a Black Blade assassin and had a poison knife right off the bat.
Oh, interesting.
And I have a relic right, or a rune right or whatever, that starts my starting weapon with magic on it. So
right.
like, you can,
yep, I've seen one of those. Yep.
You can kind of like tweak your... Oh, we didn't mention that. So when you win, there is meta progression. So to answer your initial question, there's no meta progression between rounds with weapons and characters and stuff like that, aside from remembrances will give you some stuff that's permanent, and then you get relic runes that let you do relic rites or whatever, and those are things like your flask also heals everybody else. Your weapon starts with magic on it. +3 dexterity, and some of them are really cool. Some of them you get specifically from remembrances, like the Duchess one I mentioned that gives you auto reprisal on dagger combos. So that's the meta progression, and like those are like scaled. Tiny ones are like not very good and have one ability, and then big ones have 3 abilities and are crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, so as you see, like generally, like it's like, Metal Gear Solid, like procure on site, find your weapons.
Okay.
So you go to certain places where a chest might drop something more rare. You fight something, and it'll drop something that's more rare. But it is sort of like a luck of the draw. Like sometimes you'll get new weapons, and sometimes your base weapon is just the best thing that you can have.
So you're not carrying that arsenal
right
with you. Okay.
But you can also
you
get
start level 1 with the base
smithing
weapon. Gotcha.
stones. And you can find little blacksmith stations to
cool.
increase the level of the weapon that you have. So that actually can sometimes be better than finding a new weapon.
And there's sometimes world events, like the one that was happening while we were doing the review was called the Crater. And
huge
very
volcano.
Incredibly convoluted way to get down there. Mitch Sherped me on this one because he had done it before. But like, you drop down into this lava-filled crater, and if you get to the bottom and beat a boss, like a mini-boss, like a side boss, you can level any weapon in your arsenal all the way to legendary, or purple maybe. And so that's pretty wild. And like, have a good weapon and try that. But then like, that crater thing is only active for like a week, and then it goes away for a while, and then other ones might come back later. That's the one I've seen. I know there are others, but I haven't experienced them yet. I love this game. I think it's really cool. Yeah.
Well, my question to you on that note then, as being big FromSoft fans, is there anything in this game that you think, not that it's lacking, but that if it added or it doesn't have, would make it like the craziest game ever for you?
I think that it has a high potential for, like, after you've defeated 2 expeditions, it unlocks cosmetics. You can change your character's outfits. And some of them are like nods to stuff. And I've seen other outfits. I saw that one outfit that I was like, that's not one of Duchess's regular outfits. How'd you get that? Like, is that the deluxe edition? Like, what is that? So I'm assuming there are other ways to get some. So like, the game can just keep adding stuff like that. They can keep adding. I assume they're going to keep adding bosses. Like, this game I could definitely see being something where it's like we were saying, like, once we've done the remembrances and beaten all the bosses right now, put it down for a couple of months. But then like, I could see them every few months just adding another boss. Like, you jump back in. Like, I think this game could go on for a long time.
Yeah.
Conceivably. And I think that would be really cool. And like, there's the potential for them to have, like, add other literal weapons from the other games and stuff. Some of them are already in there, but like, if they get the rights from Sony or whatever, I'd love to see the Blade of Mercy in there. But that kind of stuff.
Put Lady Butterfly in.
Oh my God.
Damiani, we played Dark Souls together.
I mean, I just replayed Dark Souls 1.
Yep.
I played Prepare to Die Edition.
Hell yeah.
Then went to Remastered because I wanted to see, like, what does it look like better
Love
on PC?
that remaster, dude. Dark Souls 1 Remastered is fucking sick.
And then I played a good amount of 2 to see why everyone hates it. Now I kind of
love 2, dude. Love those
2
torches.
is fucking sick.
2 fucking rips.
I will not stand for this.
Same. I won't stand for it either.
I'm not a big... I like 1 more than 2.
Same, but
basic.
2 rips.
Well, yeah,
I
1 is
think
better than
the
2, but 2 is sick.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the controls are terrible in 2.
What?
Like it's locked. Like I don't like how your character moves way worse than 1. 1 has smoother movement. I don't understand how that's even possible.
Well,
But
Miyazaki didn't direct it.
That's where the OG, even the OG version.
It's how it was meant to be played.
You can move like full 360 movement in the original. In 2,
We're not here to litigate the past,
Yeah.
We're talking
Anyway,
about
Are you going to
Nightreign.
play this?
No, because I don't like the I loathe the multiplayer aspect of Souls games. I love being isolated in them. The only time I want multiplayer is
Play
if
solo,
there's
coward.
a boss I am banging my head against. It's like fine, but Elden Ring took care of that. Elden was like, here's a mimic tier. You don't need anyone else. I was like, so Elden Ring solved it. So if like every Soulsborne going forward has a mimic tier, I don't ever need to play with other people again. And I love that.
I don't see this as being a good game for Damiani. Like it is a struggle for me a bit because like I do like to play these games as like, okay, take my time and explore and like go through every nook and cranny, and like a lot
That's
of it is
what
about
the main game is for. This is a
I
multiplayer
know
spin-off
that, but
where we
this
can
is
play
like
it together.
this crazy high-paced like rush and like, oh, we just got to go now. Like
It is constant running. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it looks
this definitely feels
exhausting.
like people who are maybe. I mean, it's not competitive in the sense like it's like PvP dueling, but people maybe are bummed out that like the online functionality of like the older games is just like it's just a Wild West shit show kind of right now. Like between like people on PC probably just like straight up like cheating and stuff.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
but like whatever. Like they're meant. You can't turn off. I think Dark Souls 2 you can't even turn off your online. So like, anyway. Yeah, this is probably for like multiplayer purists of Souls games. Like, thank you for making a game developed completely around it where you have to play with other people. As you said, like playing solo is like not really viable at all.
I will say-
It's like creators' intent where it's go ahead, Elise.
No,
sorry.
no, I'm sorry. I cut you off. Please finish what you're saying.
That was really it. That was at the end. My thought.
I was gonna say to your point too. I do love the multiplayer experience of like we're gonna clear this area together.
Yeah.
You're moving at a breakneck speed. It looks like through this, and
But
the
you're
idea of like
together.
we've got to artfully clear this area, and this does seem more like it's like a. Like we run
Yeah.
up to this
There-
guy,
I mean,
hack him a bunch, and then we run up to
what
the
they
next
just
guy.
did though, like that sort of was like that. There are these little camps where like they'll have a health bar for basically the camp. And so, like, when you kill all the main, you don't have to kill every little grunt. But when you kill all the main enemies in that camp, then like you'll get a reward for it.
Gotcha.
So there is a little bit of that in there.
What I've really liked about this is kind of the emerging strategy elements of it, where it's like yeah, and I hear what Damiani's saying, and like totally, this is it's not like I kind of wish that they would put in kind of a go look around mode, like that would be kind of fun.
Or even like a half speed mode kind of thing. in
But I
terms of,
have,
like, the
but I have
pace of
Elden
the day.
Ring, so like I don't care. Like I'm not.
Right, but
I have
that-
no problem with it. Like this is awesome that this exists.
This is
It, like,
this is what I was gonna say though, is like the speed of this is I think so much fun because it's like it's just total insanity and like
Yeah.
each run takes
this jerk.
40 minutes, like whatever, an hour, and like by the end of it you realize you've just been like clenched the whole time and you're like, oh god, like
And one does not simply just walk into an Elden Ring playthrough.
No.
Like that is a huge beast and brick of a game that like you're not going to be playing all the time. Whereas this like
You pick it
the
up.
bite-sized
Yeah.
runs
Once you
with
get used
each
to
other
it, you can definitely like do like a run or two a night. Yeah.
really serves a nice function for a lot of fans that have already played through Elden Ring.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you're using a speed hack at some points in this footage. Like,
Oh, you can
I'm not
sprint,
gonna lie.
Damiani. That's
Well,
fine.
that- that
I know,
definitely
no, it
also
looks
very
like-
very fast.
There's a
Damiani, this
hyper- there's a
character.
hyper-
It looks
sprint.
really fast, and then like how far you could jump down without dying. I was like,
Yeah,
wait,
no
what?
fall damage.
there's no fall damage.
I know because I was like, what?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
it's Souls arcade. Like
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
fall damage.
Yeah.
Everything's way faster. The Duchess character specifically is the fastest character. That's why I like her. But like she has
Fast
something.
women.
She fast. I like fast women. But her passive is just called Magnificent Poise. And so, like, dodging and attacking just doesn't cost it as much stamina.
Actually, I had one of my, and this is another reason I actually like the way this is set up. One of my better runs might have been the one that I actually beat the boss on, was with the Raider. Big guy,
Barbarian
huge
type.
freaking axe. And, like, I intend to, like, the next Souls game I play to play with, like, a big brute like that, but I have never done that before.
Huh.
Like, in the past, like, I've been more, towards the magic and agility side.
So do you feel like this gives you an opportunity to sort of try out these other characters?
Exactly.
And then
Like,
but
you
don't
can
have to
try out
commit-
these other play styles that ordinarily
Ah.
would involve you, like, messing around with a bunch of skill points and stuff like that in the main game.
And you can just bounce between all of them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you set up all your characters with their relic rights, and then like, when you're picking your character, if someone else, you can have multiple of the same characters. So like, I've actually been on runs that had 2 duchesses, and we did really well.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to have the same one as someone else, you can just switch when you're about to go to any character you want, and it's like really fun. And the remembrances kind of encourage you to play every character.
And there's like a little training room in the base too before you go out,
Yeah.
so you can mess around with the characters to get comfortable with them.
Pseudo related. Has the multiplayer game set in the Control universe come out yet?
No, FPC
No, it's-
3
Firebreak,
weeks
not
or
yet.
something?
Firebreak, right?
Next
Okay.
month, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming up. I'm always on board for a multiplayer spinoff. I will never say no.
I love that.
Ever.
I love Control.
Ever.
I
will
love Control.
never say no. You give me a single player game, you give me a Resident Evil, an Elden Ring, a Control, or a Max Payne, and then you give me a multiplayer spinoff, in.
Yeah,
Every
that-
time.
That's my
as
thing
long
with
as the
this.
next
Is
Resident
it's,
Evil is,
go ahead, Damiani.
as long as it's the multiplayer Resident Evil we want, Huber.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Out.
Bioshock.
Like-
How'd you feel about
Yeah.
that Bioshock
Yeah.
one?
Yo, I'm a Resident Evil Resistance defender. I loved it. I loved it.
What about the other one?
Well, they never let me play that one. They like blocked.
yeah,
I
that's
was
right.
like
Can we
locked
Get
out.
Outbreak, Huber?
We
I
had a
know, I
solution.
know.
He refused to go with it.
Yeah,
know.
Huber didn't want to play. That's the thing is like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's the internet and everybody, whatever. But like, even if this isn't for you, like, I'm not mad at it. Like, I think this
Yeah.
game is hilarious. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's maybe the best thing about it is it's
Eagles.
just such a weirdo game. It's hard to find a comparison to it.
Yeah.
It does so many strange things that, like, even if you're a Souls fan, it's like you're gonna have to take some time to adjust and figure
Definitely.
out what the heck this game is.
Yeah, freaking sick.
I love how fast it is. I think
Yep.
it's wonderful.
I agree. Change of pace. Mix it
Yeah.
up. Don't do the same thing every time. If you like this conversation, become a $5 and up patron. You get ad-free cuts, extended cuts, all of the cuts, and you get to get into our Discord and more. Patreon.com/EasyAllies.